Usually it's a top spec high performance cars that we have on our channel, and that got us wondering if the lower trims offer just as much as oomph as those high performance cars.
This is a BMW 220iM, and this is the entry level to the BMW M Sports. I'm Gavin.
I'm Dinuk. You're watching Total Talk, and let's roll with the intro.
When we tested the M2 on the channel, it turned out to be one of the best cars we have driven so far. So, how does the entry-level M car compare to that? Let's find out.
Let's start with what drives this car. Now, this is a 4-cylinder twin-turbo engine which puts out 185 horsepower and 300 Nm of torque. It's driven via an 8-speed torque converter gearbox, and it gets rear-wheel drive. Now, this is a lightweight car, so I do like my fair share of lightweight sports cars. It is a bit more fun than a heavy, very powerful vehicle. Now, competition.
Now, for the competition, you have the Mercedes CLA 200, you have the Audi TT, and you also have the S-Line, the A3 S-Line. So, compared to its competitors,
this looks better.
This does look better, but power-wise,
this is a bit low, but this car can be tuned, so that's that.
Exactly.
And now the problem with these small cars, especially the Audi TT, it's a very, very feminine car.
True.
And this is a shorter wheelbase. This is as fun as the Audi S3. Which we have tested on the channel before. If you haven't watched the video, click here.
Price-wise, you can get a very good example anywhere from $53,000 all the way up to $65,000, depending on the year and the mileage it has. Given that it's not an M car, nor is it one of those fake M cars like the M340i, it's still got some cool features that make this car worth considering. So here's a few.
Normally when we film an M car, a proper M car, we complain about the fact that the interior is very similar to that of a non-M car. And in this case, this is a non-M car. It's very, very close to a BMW proper M car. So that's a cool feature. A very cool feature is the fact that this is an active grille. As you can see, it is closed at the moment, but if you're doing high speed and it needs to suck more air in, this is gonna open up. I mean, this is the only car we've seen with that feature.
Let's go over the design of this car. Now, compared to the new M2, it's not as bold or aggressive at the front.
In fact, it's more pretty than aggressive. Now, if any car is a she, this would be it, because this is literally so pretty. Anyway, let's move on. Now, something that is normal but no one realizes anymore is the fact that this grille is small compared to the BMW M4, the M3, where the grills are literally massive. Now, they do look good, don't get me wrong. This is normal sized. And at the front, it reminds me of BMW Z4 for some reason.
At the side, just like the BMW M2 competition, it's got a shorter wheelbase, which usually means a lot more fun to be had while driving. But let's get into that in a bit.
You do get 19-inch alloys at the front and at the back. Now you do get a M badge here, because this is literally the starting point of the BMW M line. So you also get upgraded carbon fiber side mirror, which is not as visible as the older generations.
The rear taillights of the new M2 and the 2 Series cars have received a lot of hate, saying that they were ugly. But
to be honest, this is literally the most beautiful taillight I've seen on any car. Even though a lot of people hated the new M2 taillights, it does look good. Now the owner has also put in an aftermarket carbon fiber spoiler. And overall at the back, I will say this, it's a very good looking car. I mean, look at that. Even the dual exhaust, the diffuser, it is one very beautiful car. Let's talk about the interior of the 220iM. Now, I will say this, same thing as a BMW M car. I mean, literally everything is the same. But let's start with the steering wheel, fully leather instead of Alcantara. I mean, you can't really complain about that because this is literally half the price. Digital driver's display, which is the same as a BMW M car. And if you move on to the infotainment system, you do get Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. I mean, everything is very responsive. Everything is literally the same tech as the BMW M cars, except the fact that the center console is not carbon fiber. It's very high quality plastic, but it looks good. Now, let's move on to the seats. You get a mix of leather and Alcantara. You have an option of getting electronically adjustable seats, but this is manually adjustable by who really cares. The only good thing of this over a BMW M car is the fact that you get a sunroof. I mean, if M cars had a sunroof, it would be cooler. Now, practicality inside. Now, you do get 2 cup holders here, which are very usable, and you do get a wireless charger. This is a Samsung something Ultra. It's my phone, but I don't know. Doesn't fit. But if you do have an iPhone 15, there you go. fits perfectly, so that's nice. So overall interior, it's pretty good. Now one thing I do like is the fact that the door handles are very Lambo-y. They literally look like it's straight out of a Lamborghini. And overall interior, can't complain. For the price, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. It literally looks the same as a BMW M car. Back seats, I mean, you don't really buy a 2 Series to put 4 passengers in, so who really cares about that? But yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, let's go for a drive in the 220i M. And we're currently on comfort mode. The very first thing, the suspension is not as comfortable as a 3 Series or 4 Series. It is a bit stiff, which means they've optimized this for a stiffer sports suspension rather than a comfortable one.
Yep.
And that's not something that I would be looking for in a non-M car.
Yeah, that's true.
And let's jump onto sports mode. So you got 3 different modes. You got Ego, Sport and Comfort. Currently on sports mode. And the second you jump onto sports mode, the steering, it does get a bit heavier, which is good because you don't really want a very soft steering setting.
On a sports car, yep.
Yeah.
On at least a sports mode.
Yeah. And for a rear-wheel drive car, I will say that the steering is very, very sharp. And that's thanks to the shorter wheelbase as well. Now, we have driven the M2 on the very exact road that we're driving on at the moment. And the steering-wise, it's very, very similar. The only thing that's not similar is the engine. Now, the M2 had so much more power. And the thing is, this car, there is a bit of a turbo lag. But it gives you like at least 60 to 70% of what the M2 gives you.
Yeah, true.
For
Because like, I mean, it does, the M2 had what, 400 horsepower?
yeah.
This has what, 185, so...
Yeah, so power-wise, no, but then fun-wise, yes. I mean, this car is fun.
Fun and price-wise, so...
Yeah, and it's very, very
Yeah.
light. It's very nimble. So, I think suspension-wise, if it was a bit more stiffer, it would be very close to the M2 that we drove.
Yep.
And that honestly, that makes the car much more fun. But
Yeah.
this, for the price, it's so much fun.
Alright, so now the final thoughts of the BMW 220i M. It's not a bad car for its price, and I mean, it's an entry level to the BMW M car, so I don't know, it's nice. Does it have enough power? Maybe because we drive a lot of high power vehicles,
Yeah.
we feel like it's a bit
Underpowered.
But
But
look, for the price, for this price, for the power, for a first car or a daily driver,
It's good.
this is fine.
Yes.
Like, it looks nice, it drives nicely.
Yeah.
There's not many faults to it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
The only thing I can actually think about is the fact that even though this is a big sunroof, it only opens up until here.
yeah, I mean,
And-
you had the thing with the RS5 as well.
Yes.
So.
Now I will say this: you do get plenty of luxury features. You do get like a reverse assistant, parking aid, keyless entry.
Yep.
For a 2 Series, that's so much luxury. This car is very fit for 2 markets. One, if you just got your license and you're in Australia and you can't drive a high-powered vehicle, this is perfect. This is so much fun. And the second market would be you have a very good weekend car and you need something to daily drive.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 markets. But I think overall, for the price, for the looks, for everything, this car would be a solid 8.
Yeah. No, that's true.
If this had like 220 horsepower, it would be a 9. But overall, I really will say this car is so much fun. I mean, it matches the fun to be had in an M2, but with like less power.
Yeah, that's true. And I would have to give it 7.7. 7.7. It's a good number. And yeah,
That's where we'll leave it. Thank
Yeah.
you, Wilson Talk.
like and subscribe.
See you guys.